Still morning. Had the day off, opted to skip the gym because I am still relatively sore. And let's see, a classic litmus test for me is the toe touch. Yup. I mean, I can kind of get down there, but typically, right, if my nervous system's in a good spot, I can touch my toes. Isn't that right, Mr. Bones? So today is just going to be something like just getting my body moving. We're going to get some work with the clubs going because I've been kind of ignoring that. 15 minutes is kind of my goal of just not doing anything like particularly intense, just kind of letting my body find what works well for me kind of situation. So again, it's relatively uncomplicated, relatively, what's the word? Spontaneous. Um, let's see here. Only other thing I can think of is I bumped up my calories because I was feeling like crap. Um, and as a result, put on a little bit of weight. And I was like, okay, well, now that I know that I'm somewhere in my target range, I cut down on my calories again and just added in one whole cheese stick. So I got like another 80 calories in my diet with another, I think it's about like 7 grams of protein in it. So I'm sitting at about 183 grams of protein a day now. My last weigh-in was like 193 and change. So the lightest I had felt that felt awful was like 192.4, and that was 2 weeks ago. So I'm expecting like a progressive drop. That's going to be a little more comfortable. So I feel better energy wise where I'm at. I'm still hungry. Like I'm getting hungry a little earlier, and I'm noticing, hey, I'm like, I don't feel as full with my meals, but that's kind of a good thing with weight loss. So like I said, today we're going to do some kettlebell, or not kettlebell work, hammer work here, hammer, mace. I might bring in like my homemade ones just for some different stuff. Yeah, about 15 minutes, and like I said, more spontaneous stuff. So this is where again, like just kind of coming through, seeing what feels good for the shoulders and for the body. Let's see here. Let's see if we can't figure out this kind of a flow situation. So we go through here and come through here. Little hand switch. Again, this just kind of feels good. I'm getting a couple reps. Feel like I'm getting a little warm. So that's nice. Nothing particularly. Hey. No scratching that. You literally have hundreds of toys. Not hundreds, but like at least a dozen that you can scratch instead. So, one of the things I was going to think about today was like how there's this maybe progressive return to like martial arts in fitness, and again, more so like the art part rather than the combat. It's just like, oh yeah, like what'd you do today? Oh yeah, like this is a I can envision, hey, that if I'm a lefty, I am thrusting with a spear and then coming back down. Or that if this was, unarmed combat, right, that I'm here, I'm blocking, and it's this repetitive flow over and over again, which is kind of a classic hallmark of, again, the art part of martial arts. So, like one of the things I saw recently was rope flow. And it's like literally they're just, swinging a rope, trying to figure out, hey, how does my body move best? Especially in this kind of rotational and like transverse planes. So, flip side, you know, I think as more and more people are finding, oh, what's the word again? Non-standard training methods, such as mace bells, sandbags, etc., that can fit into a small space, especially when costs continue to rise. I think this bell cost me $100, which is about, you know, smidge under, or it's a smidge over what I'd pay for at a gym for 2 months. And I've, you know, hey, if I can do this for 5 minutes, 3 times a day, I get a 15-minute workout, and I get a couple hundred reps. And again, right, this isn't, what's the word I'm looking for? Right, I can hold a conversation, but I can definitely feel my muscles working. So how many reps did I do there? I don't know. Did I get my heart rate up? Certainly. Okay. Oh, I've been waiting for that knee crack. So I'm gonna try and go through that same routine again, but with the weight out in front of me. So we're gonna see how this goes. All right, so from here, right, I'm thrusting. So again, there's a discussion of like, hey, what is actually functional? Most of us in our day-to-day are probably not lifting a 15-pound anything, 60, 100 reps a day. But if you are someone who is a laborer, this is, right, well, this is a 15-pound bell. So if you're having to dig a hole, this is definitely, ooh, I almost popped myself in the face. You know, a little more functional for you. Alright, so I'm running out of air here because the weight has shifted. Whew. I got my heart rate up. Alright, so apparently that got me up to the 130s in terms of heart rate. Relatively low impact, can definitely feel. Right, my heart rate got up as I was coming down. I feel my core kind of working to prevent excess motion. Felt like I could easily use my whole body to kind of push that weight. Right, so I feel good. So from a current life perspective, all right, we stick it in, we stick the shovel into the hole, and then we dispose of it. Again, hey, we got a whole line of guys, and we're digging. From a more martial arts perspective, that what I could see here is like, okay, pretending this is again a spear or a staff as I fall over again, is the idea of, again, like, okay, so here we are, right? So this is where, like, I will stab towards somebody's foot, bum, and then come up, because the thought of like, okay, somebody's stabbing at my foot with my inclination. I'm going to pull that target away from them and I'm going to lean forward. So now I brought myself closer to them unintentionally. And again, or even if like the natural reaction is to do, you know, that I'm here and then I step back, my whole body's leaning back, I now have a new target for them. So again, like the art part of combat, like the philosophy, as opposed to, you know, brutal, knuckle, whatever. Alrighty. And this is where we're getting right. So it's like that classic punch, punch. Instead, right, it is still a rotational move. I'm trying to pivot off that back leg and then follow through with my front. So with me being a natural kind of toe walker, right, my tendency is to be up here a lot. And so like normally when I'm walking around, I can kind of like let my body adjust, concentrating on the camera. And so it's like, oh yeah, let me step, oh, hello, over here. But I think again, like general nervous system fatigue can result in poor balance. So here we are. So just with me jabbering on them and just going through these two things, right? I've already hit 10 minutes. So we're gonna do that kind of down chop with my left arm up top. We'll grab the 5-pound clubs and then we'll go from there. So again, right. Ooh. So what I'm trying to do on this leg, a little more concentrate with the right leg forward, is to focus on that hip internal rotation. Right, boom, 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 rather than just stopping my hip here and then extending through my back. Now this is where I do feel a little tug in my knee, which is unpleasant if I do it wrong. Oh. So again, the art part of martial arts over specific combat maneuvers. All right. So from here, we'll get into these clubs here. Long time ago, I had learned like a Eskrima Kali Arnis flow. So I might end up recreating that, and or it's like back in my martial art days, it was the like kind of multiple strikes that you could perform with the bow staff. So we might end up kind of going through that a couple of times with each arm. and then just kind of like seeing what does and doesn't go in terms of like, hey, incorporating some footwork, things that might mimic, what I'll say, fight choreography. So, right, so this is where, all right, that I would come down, over, actually I lied, right? So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So it's just repeated. So if we just do this one-handed, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so let's see if I can't. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Yeah, apparently cannot do that one-handed. So instead, we're going to go into our, what I learned is like possible strikes. So again, it's like the one side of the head, other side of the head, elbow ribs, knee, knee, slash, slash, downward slash, thrust. So, bum, 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 diagonal, diagonal, bum, bum. One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whew. Get a nice little forearm pump out of that. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. That's where I'll say I am no instructor. I've had very little training, so it's literally just what feels right for my body at this time. So each one may look a little different, but this is kind of what feels good for my body. And my shoulder is just getting torched. That's right. 1. So, let's see. So let's see here. We got we're at about 16 minutes in. Let's check our toe touch test. All right. So I'm glad I didn't do anything overly taxing today. And I'm glad I just did something today. So just gonna try this a couple of times. Where, like I said, and this is where I wish I had like a bigger space, but here we are. That idea of like, okay, the forms, the kata, the flows, whatever you want to call it, whatever. Here I am, in a defensive posture, imagining I have a longer weapon in my hand, right? And that someone lunges at me, and that I want to block, and then retake a similar defensive stance. Again, somebody lunges at me, I want to block, take a defensive stance. So again, it's just that option of flowing through these kind of imaginary attack scenarios. Excuse me, Mr. Bones. And that's right. So again, that thought of like, hey, I am thrusting, defensive stance, parrying, defensive stance, parrying thrust. And we just do that over and over again while trying to maintain good balance to our feet. Is it the right thing to do? Oh, not gonna fake it. No, this is again the art part of visualization, relative philosophy of just keeping yourself moving. All right, so again, right, so, and this is where again, like the relative in coordination of my left side. So again, if I'm here and then I am thrusting, okay, so right foot forward, pinky by ear. So let's go left foot forward, pinky by ear. So again, we thrust, thrust. I'll tell you what, my shoulder is burning up. Right. All right. Whew. So maybe spend another minute or two on this. So this is where again, like, hard to think about this as a like parry. So again, I'll have this in my right hand. Right, more of a classic way I learned this was like Fukusudo, knife hands, kind of a case dance. All right, so here I am. Somebody's coming straight at me that I can parry their arm, weapon, whatever, you know, with my hand, defend myself, step through, slash through, and still have a nice defensive stance after. Oh, there we go. So it's like, again, if we go parry, slash, defend. And the thought being like, again, this is kind of where that Kali flow, Arnis, Eskrima flow comes in, where it's like, you could have another weapon here. So I've got my hand up on my head. And again, so I'm ready for their next attack. And that could be where, hey, I come down with that left hand, step through, and I reverse that process. So again, it's like, hey, again, it's about feeling like you can maintain that balance, good stability, this, that, and the other. Is it the right thing in terms of self-defense or traditional Filipino martial arts? Not at all. I'm untrained, and I will admit that wholeheartedly any given day. So that felt good. All right. My upper body was definitely the more sore part of me today. So getting a little looser feels good. So if you did what I did today, great. You did your own thing, great. You're just starting, looking for ideas, motivation, discipline, or community to support you. It's what we're here to do. Help each other be a little better every day. So good job today. Keep working hard. We'll see you next time.